Welcome back to the Rhetorical Kingdom. Today we're pushing ourselves further than we've ever gone before. Hey there! I'm completely alone out here, and I'm going to give you the ultimate survival guide in this wilderness of words. With the right planning, you can design the safest, smartest text structure to keep your words alive. In today's video, you'll learn 6 different text structures and how to recognize them in the Rhetorical Kingdom. In this lesson, the power of words will be our most trusted survival tool. Text structure refers to the way ideas are organized and presented. It has to do with how the author begins the speech or essay, the format that the writing follows, and the intended impact on the audience. Authors make these decisions in the initial planning stages when writing a speech or essay. Now, let's take a look at our wilderness dilemma. Looks like I have a problem. Eventually, it's going to get dark, and I don't have a tent, so I need to build a shelter. If I were to use rhetoric to address this issue, I think I'd need to use a problem and solution text structure. With this structure, the author presents a problem and proposes one or more solutions. I'd need to write something like this. Facing the threat of the rapidly approaching night, we're confronted with the urgent challenge of exposure to harsh elements. The answer? Constructing a robust shelter using nearby materials to ensure safety and warmth. See? First, I state the problem, then I propose a solution. Problem and solution text structures are often easy to identify because they use some common key words, including challenge, problem, issue, dilemma, solution, answer, and to solve. Okay, I've got my solution. My next step is to figure out what kind of shelter will be best for me to make. There are plenty of arguments for different kinds of shelters to build, but I know exactly what kind will be best. A lean-to is what we need. To address this with words, I would use a proposition and support text structure. This is where an author presents an opinion or belief and then sets out to prove that it's true. Let me show you what I mean. To survive the impending night, I propose constructing a lean-to shelter, which offers ease of construction and efficient protection. This claim is supported by the availability of long branches for structure, the natural incline of the terrain providing stability, and our need for a quick-build shelter that maximizes warmth. Here, I stated my position, in this case an opinion, and I supported it with details. Common keywords to look out for when identifying proposition and support are position, claim, prove, evidence, support, for example, and explain. So we know which kind of structure we're building. What's the next step? I should probably put together specific steps for me to build this shelter. Aha! No doubt the best option in this circumstance would be a procedural text structure. This type of text is organized in a series of steps or phases that are presented in a specified order. It's like a recipe, and it's always presented in a chronological order. First, gather long branches and large leaves from the surrounding area. Next, choose a spot against a sturdy tree or rock for support. Finally, lean the branches against the support and cover them with leaves to create a waterproof lean-to shelter. These steps ensure a safe and effective shelter is built quickly. With this structure, I've listed out the steps for building my shelter. Procedural texts often include keywords like after, before, during, eventually, finally, first, and last. Now that we've got a reliable shelter, I just want to take it all in for a minute. This area is so beautiful. It makes me want to capture the moment with words. To do that, it would be best to choose a descriptive structure. This structure's purpose is to describe a topic by presenting its characteristics and features. With descriptive text, an author's intent is to make a sensory impression on the audience using rich details. Watch how I describe this location. Nestled against the sturdy embrace of an ancient tree sits our lean-to shelter. Its framework of interlaced branches, covered in a thick layer of green leaves, offers a cozy haven from the cool night air. The earthy scent of damp soil fills the space, promising a night of protected rest under the starlit sky. Pretty nice, right? This vivid imagery invites us to feel the shelter's protective embrace and the serene peace it offers. In descriptive text, you'll encounter those rich details and words like characteristics of, for example, to show, and including. Now that we've built our shelter and taken in the moment, it's time to secure some food. Luckily, I've seen some groups of plants nearby that might be a great start for some foraging. Remember that I'm an expert here. Don't go out and try to eat any old plant. It's easy to confuse an edible plant with a dangerous one. To show this with words, I would choose a compare and contrast structure. This structure examines similarities and differences between objects, actions, ideas, and/or processes. Take a look at this. Here we find two plants that look alike. The benign wild carrot, known for its edible root with a delicate scent, and the poisonous hemlock, whose root emits a noxious odor. While both plants feature feathery green leaves and white flower clusters, a distinction lies in their stems. The wild carrot's stem is hairy and solid, whereas the hemlock's is smooth and has distinctive purple spots. So I structure the text to describe the qualities of each plant and explain how to tell the difference. Common keywords for compare and contrast structure include whereas, on the other hand, in contrast, similarly, both, and unlike. Ooh, I'm glad I made sure to compare and contrast those plants. I'll stick to the carrots. Now that we've got a shelter and some food, our final survival strategy today is to get a fire started. Fire is essential to survival. Think about all the effects of a warm campfire. There are lots. To relay all of them with words, I think it would be best to choose the cause and effect text structure. The primary purpose of this structure is to relate outcomes to specific causal factors. This can be argumentative, with an author proving a relationship between two factors, or reflective, perhaps woven into a memoir. Like this. Starting a fire in the wilderness leads to several vital outcomes. It provides warmth against the cold, makes food safe to eat, and signals for a rescue. These effects stem from the singular cause of sparking a flame. Thus, this simple action not only ensures physical well-being, but significantly increases the chances of being found. Here, I identify the cause and list out the effects. Common keywords that point to this text structure include since, therefore, because, due to, as a result of, consequently, and hence. All right, it looks like I've got everything I need here for a cozy, safe night in the wild. What's more, you're now equipped with the tools of each text structure. Let's take a look at what you're going to be completing this week. You'll explore more about each of the text structures that we've learned about today, and you'll analyze some fantastic examples with personal responses. To end the week, you'll complete some reflection questions. You've got what it takes to make it in this rhetorical kingdom. Think of each text structure as a vital tool in your survival kit. Much like selecting the right tool for building a shelter, foraging, or starting a fire can make all the difference in the wild, choosing the appropriate text structure can dramatically enhance your communication in the vast world of rhetoric. As you head into the wild on your own, embrace the adventure of expression with courage and curiosity. And remember to always be clever.